नमो तस्स भगवतो अरहतो सम्मा सम्बुद्धस्स। नमो तस्स भगवतो अरहतो सम्मा सम्बुद्धस्स। नमो तस्स भगवतो अरहतो सम्मा सम्बुद्धस्स। बुद्धं शरणं गच्छामि, धम्मं शरणं गच्छामि, संघं शरणं गच्छामि, द्वितीयंपि बुद्धं शरणं गच्छामि, द्वितीयंपि धम्मं शरणं गच्छामि, द्वितीयंपि संघं शरणं गच्छामि, तृतीयंपि बुद्धं शरणं गच्छामि, तृतीयंपि धम्मं शरणं गच्छामि, तृतीयंपि संघं शरणं गच्छामि।
बुद्धं शरणं गच्छामि, धम्मं शरणं गच्छामि,
शरणं गच्छामि,
संघं शरणं गच्छामि,
संघं शरणं गच्छामि,
बुद्धं गच्छामि,
बुद्धं शरणं गच्छामि,
धम्मं शरणं गच्छामि,
धम्मं शरणं गच्छामि,
संघं शरणं गच्छामि,
संघं शरणं गच्छामि,
बुद्धं शरणं गच्छामि,
बुद्धं शरणं गच्छामि,
धम्मं शरणं गच्छामि,
शरणं गच्छामि
संघं शरणं गच्छामि
संघं शरणं गच्छामि
to introduce to you one of the very respected and a scholarly monk from Bangkok, Raja Pariyatti Muni, who is as of now associate professor and also dean of the Faculty of Buddhism in MCU Bangkok. MCU is one of the biggest universities imparting education in Buddhism to the monks. And also, I am very happy to tell you that Venerable was awarded PhD from our own Pune University from Maharashtra, India. So he knows Maharashtra, Pune very well, and also knows our culture here. And he has a great regards for Indians. Therefore, he actually agreed to give a Dhamma discourse today to all of us. I'm very happy to tell you that he is also assistant abbot of one of the world's famous Buddha Vihara, that is Wat Phra Chetuphan from Bangkok, Thailand. And this is Wat Phra Chetuphan has 45 meters of reclining Buddha statue in the premises. And a lot of dignitaries, they come and visit this place. You can also actually, whenever you go to Bangkok, Thailand, you should visit this place. It is very nice with the Vihara there, and a lot of visitors do go there. Even ex-president of United States, Barack Obama, Mrs. Hillary Clinton, King of Belgium, Queen of Belgium, they had personally gone there, and they also were shown around and told about many things about that very famous reclining Buddha statue there. To tell you, it is one of the 6 royal temples in Thailand, and it has been built by royal kings of Thailand. Today, Venerable is going to give a Dhamma discourse, deliver a Dhamma discourse on very important topic of Dana, Sila, and Bhavana. That is, how do we impart merit, how do we gain merits, and what is the role of Kushal Kamma in our life. I think for everybody, this is going to be a very, very important discourse. And today, a lot of people would be hearing this discourse. Among them would be many persons from Thailand also and throughout the world, as he has followers throughout the world. I welcome Most Venerable Dr. Phra Raja Pariyatti Muni and request him to deliver his Dhamma discourse. And also, I take this opportunity to thank him on behalf of all of us for giving his most valuable time and giving his blessings to all of us. Thank you. Thank you so much. Namo Buddhaya.
Before we begin the Dhamma discourse, so we will pay the homage to the Lord Buddha together. นะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะ
Greetings to everyone who are watching at home. We are fortunate to have the opportunity to pay respect to Parat Pariyatti Muni, or he is well known in Thailand as Chao Kun Thiep. I will start by asking him some questions about the Venerable. Respect to the Venerable, I would like you to tell us a little bit about your background. I understand that you are Pali expert. Perhaps you can let us know, what you did study.
I am not Bangkok monk. My native place is Suphanburi province. So I have been trained in the monastic education. And when I came to stay in Wat Po or Reclining Buddha, and then I finished 9th grade of the monastic education. We couldn't say that equal to PhD. So I did not have opportunity to study in the MCU, Mahatma Lonkorn Rajavidyalaya Buddhist University at that time. So I couldn't say that I could not have opportunity. But I want to focus on the Pali study. So therefore I did not go to the MCU to study. So when I finished the 9th grade and my spiritual matters, we call Upachaya, Pha Ubali Kunupamacharya. He was the abbot of the Wat Lai King, Nakhon Pathom. Now he passed away. He gave me the scholarship to go to the Pune. So I was doing there. I know that you have only to English to Pune University. My English was very poor, so poor. I could not speak the English just simply only my name. So when I went there, so we have to try very hard to study the English. So Pune is we could say that just I am today because of Pune University.
You had the opportunity to study in Pune University, and Pune is, I understand, a big city in Maharashtra. What did you study at Pune University, sir?
When I went to Pune University, I did MA on the Pali and Sanskrit. My major subject is Pali. Minor subject is Sanskrit. When I did my PhD, I did on Pali. When I was doing my PhD, I take opportunity that I learned the Sanskrit language with the private professor. Side by side, I'm learning the Prakrit language also. So my professor told me that he just called my name, Thiep. If you want to be Buddhist scholars, you have to know the Hinduism and you have to know the Jainism. That means that you have to learn Sanskrit language so that you will understand Hinduism. In the same way, you have to learn the Arhatha Magati to understand the Jainism. Why? Because the Buddhism and Jainism belong to the same period, the two founders. So I took that opportunity to learn the Sanskrit and Prakrit languages when I was in Pune. But later on, when I finished and I came back to Thailand, I had opportunity to work in the MCU. At present, I am the Dean Faculty of Buddhism. I teach the Pali language, both in Thai and in the EP program, English program. We could say that this is a production of the Pune University. Therefore, when the Dr. Harshadip Kamle invited me to give Dhamma talk, I was very happy. I recall back my life in Pune for 8 years, even though I do not know much about the Marathi language, just Tola Tola, Tum Chana Kai, what's your name, etc. Now I forgot since nearly the 20 years, we did not practice Marathi language. Therefore, I'm thankful to Dr. Harshadip for inviting me to give Dhamma talk, even though we did not see each other.
There is much talk now about Pali, and it's a language of the Buddha. Maybe you can tell us a little bit. As a bhikkhu, it is, I understand, important to learn or to know at least some basic Pali, Venerable.
At the monks, Pali is the language of our Father. We could say that. So, all the monks must know the Pali for the basic. Otherwise, some the people will criticize monks. You are monks, but you do not know the language of the founder or of the fathers. So, in my opinion, all monks must learn the Pali language. This is the language of our Father. If you do not know your mother tongue, is Pali, I mean the monks. So, what to say that you are monks if you do not know Pali?
Thank you very much. If there's anything you would want to give advice to us, because we are doing this Dhamma discourses online, so that the teaching of the Buddha could reach to a wider group of people who can access online. If any advice, I would be thankful for that, Venerable.
I think that this Dhamma discourse by the Global Buddhist Congregation, GBC, You have done we could say the excellent kindness to the world. This is very important. That means that when you distribute the Dhamma talk in YouTube, that means that you show the metta to the world. And I say that my compared to the fish, kindness compared to liver. Fish without liver, fish will die. Human being without kindness, so they will suffer. So they will get the suffering. So this you have done, I think, in my opinion, you distribute the kindness or metta to the worldwide in the world. For the 4 persons, that Dr. Hasdip, his wife, Lochana, Mrs. Samsuk, and Mr. Pinya. These four organizers have done the excellent job. We could say that it's the Aryan Buddhist devotee to express the teaching of Lord Buddha to Buddhist followers as well as non-Buddhist people. So this is we say that the metta to the worldwide. So I think that GBC will be known to the community in the world. Up when they was on the Dhamma discourse from the monks all over the world, I think that this Dhamma, even though we repeat it the same thing, but Burmese monk, Sri Lankan monk, and Thai monk, they will have the way of the explanation. As you hear or you watch on my Dhamma talk, so you will get some points, even though some points repeat again. Some point I think that you will not hear before in your life.
Thank you very much, Venerable. We thank you for all the Dhamma, for your kindness to give Dhamma to everyone who is now watching GBC through various means, be it Facebook or our own page or on YouTube. Thank you very much, Venerable.
Respected the member of Sangha in India and around the world. First of all, I would like to thank Dr. Hasadip and his wife, Mrs. Lochana Wanit Kamle, the founder of Lokutala Bhikkhu Training Center, Aurangabad, Maharashtra, India. Mrs. Samsuk Patamastathan and Mrs. Apinya Chang Ariyawong, and all the volunteers of Global Buddhist Congregation GBC for inviting me to give Dhamma discourse or Dhamma talk. I am Palacha Parayatti Muni. This name seems to be so long. So actually my name is Venerable Dr. Thiep Malay. At present, I stay in the Wat Pachetupon. This temple is well known as Reclining Buddha. 6 years ago, Mr. Barack Obama, former President of United States of America, visited Hillary Clinton, Secretary to State of USA. Both of them came to visit our temple. At that time, I had good opportunity to take them to see our temple. So both of them, they impressed reclining Buddha. So I could say that my temple reclining Buddha is the most beautiful in the world. I could say. If you do not believe me, please come. When the COVID-19 disappear. My Dhamma talk today, I will talk on the simple Dhamma teaching of Lord Buddha. I think this program for the Buddhists in the world and non-Buddhists. So I will not talk about the too much in academic talk. My topic today is the foundation of meritorious action in daily life. I think almost all of you used to hear this topic for many times. However, I will repeat again and I will give some the explanation. I will give you some the idea, or we could say that it is just Dhamma talk from the Thai monk. You may get some idea from different perspectives of each preacher of the teaching of Lord Buddha. In Pali language, we call Punya Kiriya Vattu. Simply, translation is foundation of meritorious action. That is, number one, dana. Second one, sila. And the third one, bhavana. So, when I talk dana, sila, and bhavana, I think that some bhikkhus say that most all of you know that. So I will explain in the points of view from Thailand. First, dana, when we pronounce, but in Thai language we pronounce than. Dana, we pronounce according to the Pali language. Even though Indian pronunciation, we pronounce dana, because I belong to the Indian student from Pune University. Dana, what is the meaning of dana? Dana meaning is giving, charity, donation. Dana has been divided into factors, into terms. One we call Amisa Dana. Amisa Dana means materials gift. For example, food, lodging, and other things. At present, as you know, most of the people in the world, they suffer from COVID-19, including Thailand. In this situation, Amisa Thana is very important, particularly in Thailand, government and the Sangha of Thailand. We help the people, those who suffer from the COVID-19 by providing the Amisa Dana, foods, etc. Second term or second factors, Dhammadana, the gift of the Dhamma or the gift of the truth. Dhamma here, if we talk about the broad meaning of the Dhamma, including that advice. For example, when you have problems in your life, so you have to discuss your problem with your friends, and your friend will resolve your problem by giving you advice. This also we call the Dhammadana. Not only the Dhamma teaching. This is just a broad meaning of Dhammadana. Why we have to give? Dana here signify metta. Metta means kindness. Metta is very important factors in the teaching of Lord Buddha. We can love everyone in the world. However, you cannot hate your lovers. These very important points. Therefore, kindness, I just give you the example for easy to understand. Mind compared to the fish. Kindness or metta compared to the liver. Why? If you look at the fish without the liver, fish will die without river or water. In the same way, in the community, the people do not have the kindness to each others. So how could that community live in harmony? So in the community or in the society without metta, we don't have kindness to each other. That society, that family will have many problems. So if we compare the mind compared to the fish and metta compared to the liver, fish without liver, fish will die. Human being without kindness or metta, they will die. Still they living. So I think this is the main point for the people, those who live together. If you live without kindness or metta, so metta reduce the anger or hatred. If you have metta, that means that your anger will disappear. Why we have to give the dana? You look at that, this dana, if you give to anyone, you see that why we were born in the world, we do not suffer from the food. We live in a society very happily. Why? That means that in previous times, we used to donate and you used to to give food, lodging, etc. to the people. Therefore, when you were reborn again in this world, so you will not suffer from the food, etc. If you compare to the human being in another countries, why they suffer from the food, from the lodging, etc. That means that in previous lives, they did not offer, did not give the donation or charity, etc. This is just the benefits of the dana. I couldn't say. I just explained the one about the dana. If you donate or you give the donation and you give food or lodging to others, so you will not suffer from the starvation. And even though you live in this world, you will not suffer from starvation. When you die and you reborn again, you will not suffer from starvation. Second one, sila. Sila means morality, precept, moral behavior. Everyone know. Therefore, I could say that sila is foundation of human beings. This is very important. We could say that foundation of human beings. Why? If you look at the 5 precepts, okay, in the title of this network, in previous Dhamma discourse I watched, so I will not repeat Pali again. Panati pata ve ramani sikhapatham samadhiyami. It's just Thai pronunciation, but I just not repeat. So I will give just main points in the 5 precepts. Number 1, do not destroy or do not kill the lives of human beings, including animals. Why? Everyone loves their life. You too. Why? In the society, we have many problems. We have many fighting. As you know, in just, we could say 1 week ago, in USA, 1 person had been killed by the police. And then still problem going on. That is, we could say that in USA, many people do not accept the police action. They destroy the lives of 1 man. This is number 1. Second one, do not take belonging of other people. If you take away any belongings of the people, if you are unlucky, the honor see you, so perhaps you may die, or perhaps they will call the police to catch you. So do not take the belonging not belong to you. The third one, do not do the sexual misconduct. That means that do not have the intercourse with the women who not your wife. This very important points. Why? In a society, we have the problem because we do not respect others' right. So sexual misconduct did just create many problems in the society. Number 4, do not speak false speech or do not talk lie. So you have to be sincere, particularly when you do business. Sincerity is very important. Otherwise, customers will not trust in you. And number 5, you have to abstain, you have to avoid intoxicants causing carelessness. That means that you do not drink the alcohol. Why? If you drink alcohol, this alcohol will cause carelessness to you, and then you cannot control your mind. So, these 5 precepts, we could say that this is foundation of human beings. And in my opinion, we could say that this is just the way of civilization in a society. If you follow these 5 precepts, what benefit will you get? According to the Thai tradition, when we gave the 5 precepts and the followers or devotee will follows Panatipata, Veramani, etc. So in that, at the end, if you follow 5 precepts, you will get the 3 benefits. Silena Sukating Yanti is the first benefit. That means that when you die, you will go to the heaven. Second one, Silena Pokasambatha. That means that you will not lack of the property. We could say that you will get prosperity. You have a lot of wealth in your life. And the last one, Silena Nipoting Yanti. That means that you will get the Nibbana due to the precept. This is the benefits according to the Thai monk when we give the 5 precepts. And other things if you look at if you practice the 5 precepts, I think the most important that you will have the long life. You will have the good health. This is very important if you practice 5 precepts. And the third one, Bhavana, mental development. What is the Bhavana? In Thai tradition, we say that สวดมนต์ภ ภาวนา What is the meaning of สวดมนต์ ภาวนา in Thai language สวดมนต์ means chanting sutta of the Buddha teaching. Bhavana means to practice meditation. So in a society, as you know that we suffer many problems. Sometimes we could not resolve that problems. And then what will you do? Lord Buddha taught us. We say that the heart of Buddhism, number one, sappapapassa akalanam. Do not do the bad things. Second one, kusalasu pasamatha, to do the good things. The last one, sakita pariyotapanang, to purify your mind. Number one and number two, we can get in many the religion. In the third one, very important. You see that actually we wash our body in the morning, in the evening, but you never purify your mind. You just wash your body. You are very clean. You are very handsome and beautiful if you look at the body by watching the body. But you never purify your mind. We could say that you never wash your mind. And then, if you want to purify your mind, what will you do? If you work in the company or any business, perhaps you do not have time to practice meditation, to go to the meditation center. I advise you chanting is the way of set up the mindfulness. And then, how could you begin chanting? We have many discourses given by Lord Buddha. And then, with sutta, you have to chant. So, I have many foreign followers. I have been invited to Indonesia and Malaysia, etc. And I used to give the Dhamma talk. And I emphasize on the chanting. Why? Chanting is an easy way to set up your mind. It is very important. So, today, I will teach you very simple and very easy for the chanting. Only 3 words. 1, 8. Second one, sawa. The third one, su. Sawa su. And in return, su sawai. You may have doubt. What is isawasu? In Thailand, these 3 words, short form is very important. If you could chant, itipiso bhagava arahang samma sambuddho vicha charana sampanno, etc. Savakhato bhagavata dhammo santitiko, etc. So, supatipanno bhagavato savaka sangho, etc. You see that the foreigners, they could not remember the long words. Difficult for them to read the romanization. So I taught them in just 3 words, I sawa so, and in return, so sawai. A stand for Lord Buddha, the Buddha, the enlightened one. Sawa stand for, signify to the Dhamma, the teaching of Lord Buddha. So stand for the Sangha, or the order, or the community of the monks. These 3 words, I sawa so sawai. I found that when I taught them in Indonesia and Malaysia, they were chanting every day. So in Thailand, we have number in number 9. If you do not have time, you chant 9 times, 19, 29, 39, 49, etc. But in the base, you must, we could say, you must chant 108 times. This is a lucky number. So I found that my disciple in Malaysia, they chant 108 within about 30 minutes every day. So when you chant, even though you do not know the meaning, you pay attention of your sound of the chanting. So you have to chant loudly, and then you pay attention on your sound of the chanting, and then your mind will get the peacefulness and mindfulness. When your mind is peaceful, that means that panya or wisdom will come within you. So I think that the chanting is simple way to set up your mind. You will get mindfulness. So before you go to bed, if you chant every day, before chanting you have to recite or chant Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa, to pay respect to the Lord Buddha for 3 times. And then you start chanting I Sawaso, so Sawai 1 time. So if you chant every day, so it is very easy. When you listen to my Dhamma talk, you could practice today. So if you chant every day, your mind will get the peacefulness. So that means that you purify your mind according to the Lord Buddha teaching, that is Sacitta Pariyo Tappanang. This is very important point according to the teaching of Lord Buddha. We wash our body every day. Perhaps in the summer, some person 5 or 6 times. However, you never purify your mind even 1 time. If your mind seems to be get suffering or gloomy or become upset, if you chant every day, your mind will be strong. So I think that if you have enough time, you go to the center for the meditation. I don't think that sometimes you have to work. I think chanting is very important. After chanting, if you have enough time, you meditate for 5 or 6 minutes, whatever. And then you will develop your mind. So I think this is a basic teaching of Lord Buddha. So if you are Buddhist, you chant every day. Therefore, don't be afraid of the long chanting. I used to go to Burma. Buddhists in Burma, I think they are very good chanting. They couldn't chant, they couldn't recite long sutta, Mangala Sutta, Ratana Sutta, etc. But some of you do not have much time. You recite in the short form, Isavasu, so Savai, enough. 9 times, 19 times. Number 9 is a lucky number in Thailand, but better 1 than 8, very important. So, Isavasu stands for Triple Gems, the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha. So, this is a Dhamma talk I have given you. I hope that I couldn't say that all of you. Some of you may get the benefits of the Dhamma talk given by me. But at least I request you to chant Isavasu, so Savai. Very easy. No need to open any books. But if you want to chant in a long sutra, it's very good. Very good. But if you don't have time, in the short form, Isavasu, so Savai is very important. These 3 terms, 3 words stand for the triple gem. The Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha. So in conclusion, that Punya Kriya Vattu, foundation of meritorious action in daily life, there is dana, charity, giving charity. The point is, I will ask some explanation that is just money is not happiness. Money is the way to get happiness. If you have money, you don't spend money, and then your money will destroy you. Money is not happiness. Money is the way to get happiness, Didana. Second one, Sila. You have to practice 5 precepts, as I explained to you. And the last one, Bhavana, mental development. I emphasize on the chanting. Chanting is the way of Buddhist followers. So if you chant, it means you praise Lord Buddha every day. That means that you visit, you pay respect Lord Buddha every day. Ratanataya Nupavena, due to the power of the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha. May you all get the prosperity and happiness forever. สทาโสธีพระวันตุโว